Hi, and welcome to Renton Live. I am Ashley Dobson with the Renton Chamber of Commerce, and tonight my co-host is James Alberson with Sandler Enterprises. How are you doing tonight, James?
I'm pretty good, Ashley. I'm glad to be here and glad to have the opportunity to sit in and join the fray in the Renton Live production, if you will, and just have fun with the community and things like that. So glad to have you. I'm glad you have me here.
Well, we're super happy that you are joining us this evening. So we have a pretty packed episode tonight, and I would love to just jump right in with our first guests.
Oh, wow, it's fast. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're jumping into it.
The end of the show here, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time.
So we are being joined by Linda Foley and Joanne. Hi there, ladies.
Hi, on Instagram.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are
How's it
you?
going?
Going well.
Yeah, so follow us, like us.
Well, we are here to talk about what the Renton Rotary has going on. What do you guys have behind you there? It looks familiar to my setup here.
So we partnered with communities and schools to help out some of the families in Kent School District that needed food.
Hi. I'm not sure.
Hi, Linda.
Do I have something going on in the background that I should be able
food and some dental supplies.
I think so. I think you might have a video playing, but that's
enough when we closed
if
down.
you
For a
wanted to
second, I
put
thought
on
you were a
pause.
ventriloquist, Linda. I was really impressed.
how do I get that to
We're all new talents here. All right.
Oh gosh.
Somewhere local. Jim is
No
like,
worries.
The beauty of live production.
but yeah, we're really fortunate to be together.
You might have the YouTube up at the same time. All right, that sounds good now.
You're okay?
Nope,
I
nope,
still
it's
hear
still
it.
going. I'm sorry, Linda.
Is
You
it
know,
playing
I
in the
think-
background, maybe a window in the background?
Let's see what I can do here. Oh boy. Oh, maybe this is.
Maybe if you just turn the volume down on your computer a little.
Let's try that. Oh,
Awesome. Well, thanks for
There
being
we go.
Really appreciate it.
All right, great.
Hey, Josh,
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention I got to do Heidi's senior portraits. Heidi,
I think you're watching a previous episode, catching up
Oh.
on Renton Live right now, Linda.
I was thinking, hold on, what happened?
All right, well, Joanne, why don't we check in with you to hear about what Renton Rotary has planned for this summer in lieu of our regular duck race that we're used to seeing down the Cedar. What do you guys have going on?
Well, thank you for allowing us to join you tonight. As Linda has talked about before, it's time for our ducks to do their magic. So some of you may remember 31 years ago, some of you may not, but rubber duckies began paddling down the river every single year to provide resources to support our community. And this year, unfortunately, with our ducks quarantined and unable to race, they figured out another way for us to provide that support to the community. So some of the funding that we're looking for this year, we have so many worthwhile projects that are funding's provided by the magic of Ducky Dollars and Ducky Dreamers. Some of the examples, we give winter warm coats to children. We have free medical services in our Rotacare clinic. We do food for those in need in our community. We provide scholarships to the high school students here in Renton. We do Thanksgiving dinner for seniors. We also have many grants that go to our nonprofits that help our vulnerable populations all across our community. So with this many great causes and many, many more, we're really hoping that you'll all help us to make this 31st year, although different, a very special monumental rubber ducky year. And join us and let the magic happen one more time.
So, Joanne, if we want to support the virtual Rubber Ducky Race this year, where can we go to help support the cause? Or all the causes?
All the causes, there's so many. Lots of different avenues for you. You can go to our Rotary website, rentonrotary.org. There's a donate button. You can donate to Rubber Ducky, to the virtual Rubber Ducky Challenge. We also are accepting checks mailed to our P.O. box. And that is P.O. Box 509 in Renton, 98057, just in case you're curious. Also, many of our local businesses will have the banners in the window and also collection spots that if you want to drop off money, we're hoping that people will provide $5 or more, however much they think they can contribute to help make this all happen this year without the sadness of having the ducks not race down the river. But they're quarantined and they are still training and they are ready for next year.
I was gonna say they're gonna have a whole extra year to get ready for us. I have so many memories growing up, running down the bridge watching the duck races. Have you ever watched the duck races, James?
You know what? I have to say that I haven't, and I'm having a case of FOMO here. You know, I fear that I've missed out. You know, but I won't miss any more in the future. That's for sure.
Yeah, you've missed out for this year, James, but we'll be back next year for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, and you can next year you can say, oh, this is the second year I've participated because my first year was with the virtual duck race.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Joanne. And thanks for joining us for a moment, Linda. We really appreciate you guys coming on and letting us know how we can help out the Rotary and get involved in all of these great causes. So thank you again.
Absolutely. Thank you. And if you have any questions, we're happy to take phone calls as well. So we're everywhere in the town. Thank you.
We will make sure to get those links and emails and addresses in the chat box as well. So again, thanks, Joanne. We'll see you later.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Take care.
The fun of live broadcasting.
Absolutely. I hate that hopefully Linda figured out the issue for the next time.
I think she was catching up. I think she was doing some homework before the episode. So
could be. I'm glad it wasn't me. That would have been embarrassing. I know, I don't know if we have a little bit of time here. We're going to roll straight into the next guest, kind of video guest, or what are you thinking, Ashley?
Yeah, I would love to hear about it. Minnie from Abyssinia, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Abyssinia Salon, which is right there on, right there at 3rd Street and Rainier, near the Safeway down that area. I've personally been in, not for any work, but I visited Minnie. She's hosted generously for the chamber some after hours events, and I will say a quick cheap plug for Minnie. I bought something for my wife for her hair, and she loves it. So now I'm stuck buying it again and again. So I know Minnie brings in she has very good products, and I am a witness once removed of the quality of her products. So that's my little plug for Abyssinia Salon. So I don't know. Okay.
Take it away.
My name is Miny Taffese. I'm the founder of Abyssinia Hair and Beauty Clinic. The main reason I call it Abyssinia, I just wanted to remain to my roots. For me, it's just a hidden passion. The person who sits on my chair, that moment is their moment, making them feel good, and not only doing hair or makeup. Seeing that smile is just priceless for me. What brought that energy is just passion again. Going to the hair salon, it's not only you do your haircut, but main purpose is just to release tension. That's how I see it. When someone walks in, you just don't know what they have. You know, like you may have like very bad day. So by giving them that undivided attention, and that's what we do here, and that makes me so happy. So the minute they walk in that door, they're already family. We invite you to come experience Abyssinia for yourself. You can give us a call or book online, and we're looking forward to serving you.
I'm so excited to introduce you to Minnie. Minnie is the salon owner and community, just the strength behind the community in so many ways. And she owns a salon called Abyssinia.
I enhance your beauty because you already created beautifully and wonderfully. So there's nothing I add something on that. So Diane took me to the Salvation Army, introduced me to those amazing people, and that's when we created this. I mean, we have a day of spa for all those people. I don't think previously no one did that kind of things for them. So they have to trust you. You know, the story you hear from each one of them is also inspiring. When we look at them outside, you know, with dirt, clothes, and all that, we don't know the inside, what they have.
Yeah.
It's just amazing, and it's a privilege for me to interact with each one of them individually.
Oh.
I learn every day. I learn something new from them, and they are very smart people, and we don't need to judge them.
I want everyone to get to know you a little bit better. I have some questions for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What has been your favorite thing to do during the stay-at-home orders that you did not do before?
Baking, even if I'm worse, but baking.
Baking? Oh, hello. Do you watch the Great British Bake Off? Because I'm a little of an addict. But what is your favorite thing to bake, Minnie?
Bread, but it's not really sweet bread. It's like a different kind of flavor. Maybe I will bake one and you'll.
Yeah, I expect it. All right. What's your favorite food?
Salmon, of course.
Salmon, of course. Like, of course. Salmon. Who is your inspiration?
All strong women.
All
strong women.
You know, I have to say, when I first met Minnie, it was at a Spark meeting for downtown. And the minute this beautiful woman walks in, has such presence and such poise. And we had a difficult conversation that day. I think it was the downtown really having a difficult conversation about homelessness. Do you remember this? And Minnie spoke with such compassion and understanding, and really during this difficult conversation, really just set everyone at peace. And I just remember that first meeting with you being in awe. Minnie, if you could do someone's hair who is famous,
okay,
whose hair would it be?
You know Kelly Osbourne?
Kelly Osbourne? Kelly Osbourne.
Yeah, Kelly.
What would you do?
Did you see her hair with that red or pink kind of thing?
Yeah.
I would just do that hair, and even the cut and everything, you know.
Really? Okay, that you knew that right off the bat. That is incredible. Hey, Minnie, it has been an honor and a privilege to sit with you today. Thank you for sharing your passion and your inspiration, for being such a strength to the community of downtown Renton. It is a blessing to have you in our community.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. All righty. Well, that was a nice little video, montage, whatever you want to call it. Not really a montage, but a video. You're now more informed about Minnie and Abyssinia Salon. So we're expecting to have a rush on her salon in the next 2 to 3 weeks or so. Just whatever you do, please socially distance and wear a mask in there. And I don't want to hear any complaints about not wearing a mask. So you'll come out looking beautiful. So right now we are going to be, I'm not sure if she's there yet. We're going to be having Monica Herley join us, and boom, I mentioned it and she's here. So Monica is a teacher and not just a teacher in Renton, but one of the 10 finalists for the Head of the Class Award. And that, it's a big deal for anybody in Renton who does not or is not aware. Every year 10 educators are chosen from their peers, for whether it be the principals, the other teachers, to be acknowledged for the job that they do. And I think a lot of us know that teaching can be somewhat of a thankless job sometimes. Sometimes I wonder why anybody goes into it. I couldn't do it personally, but thank goodness for people like Monica. So we're going to hear from Monica. Monica, welcome to Renton Live. And and just so everybody knows, the head of the class, the winner, the finalist, whatever you want to call it, is going to be announced in August, mid-August, and we're all rooting for Monica to be that. Yes, I am, Monica. Just like that, I am rooting for you. So welcome.
I just got a fan.
How are you?
Well, I'm good. I'm nervous. You know, the Renton School District, you know, sent an email out today being like, just so you know, we still don't know, but we know nothing and we still, you know what I mean? And so, oh yeah, my phone's blowing up. All my teacher friends are like, what are we doing? And so I feel like I'm just like wet in the waters of like, and so it's just, I think I've grown a lot because I'm comfortable in those waters now, just being like, yeah, we don't know.
There you go.
But you know, I'm thankful that I'm happy and healthy and that my family is healthy and, you know, have a lot to be thankful for still.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again on being one of the top 10 honorees for the head of the class. That is a fantastic thing. So now it sounds like you've been officially silenced from the school district. You can't really give any kind of definitive, I'm just joking, definitive answers. But I guess the question as far as, you know, what are teachers doing? I'm curious personally, what are teachers doing, you know, this summer? Maybe there is some uncertainty, we know that, but in preparation for whatever could be. And I know you can't necessarily speak for everybody, but I'm curious as to, is there anything consistent that is being done for, you know, the contingent situations that could be? How would you address that question?
Well, that is a good question. And, you know, as much as I wish the Renton School District would pay me to speculate, because I think I'd be good at that, they don't. But what I found in talking with my colleagues is that when COVID started, you know, there was all of this at home time and teachers were sort of, you know, like you need to still be working the same amount of minutes and hours per day and days per week and everything. So if you're awesome at, you know, digital learning and you can do all of your lessons real efficiently, then you should be like professional development, book reading, joining a book club, advocacy, things like that. And then it just so happens everything with George Floyd and Black Lives Matter, a lot of people found this funnel of energy, a place for it to go. And so a lot of my friends are still part of those movements, part of the advocacy for Black Lives Matter and other, you know, organizations. You know, they're like, I see all of them like sending like, sign this petition, call this legislator, da 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 da. Some of them are like marching and things like that, promoting businesses that are better to support than others. And then of course, just trying to stay connected. We're still doing, you know, we're sneaking around and doing a couple little happy hours here and there, but trying to stay connected. But largely, I would say in preparation for the fall, people have developed an inner voice that is like the true reason they want to be a teacher. Whereas I think a lot of folks kind of fell into it and they're kind of like, I don't know if this is my destiny, but I like summers off and I like having insurance, you know. But with COVID and then our national crisis and response, a lot of teachers have found like, oh, wait, I do have a calling. And it's people and it's education. And I think that when you look at it that way, there's a lot of hope. When you look at like, oh, but how are we going to sanitize 20 desks per classroom? Or how are we going to get enough airflow? And, you know, then it's kind of depressing. But when you think about what am I called to do? And is that calling still there? Yes, it is. And it's actually refined now.
Yeah, you know, I like that. I mean, it's kind of a, for some people, it's a reckoning, if you will, on what like you say, what the true purpose is. And you know, when you have a true purpose, you figure out a way. How do I make it happen? You don't necessarily look at the obstacles, but you still keep your eye on what's beyond, and you figure out a way to be behind or beyond that. So I'm glad to hear that you say that. Now, do you have a slide presentation or something like that? I was told that we should be watching. I don't want to just pepper you with questions. By your reaction, it sounds like you do. I don't know what.
Well, you know, like I'm kind of overcompensating because it is summer. I'm like, oh, you want me to give you some slide, like a picture present? And so, yeah, I created a really dorky PowerPoint and I probably spent too long making graphics and stuff. And
Okay.
it's not even complete. It's not a part of my evaluation, thank God, or the nomination process. But yeah, I did that. I did. But I don't know if you want to watch it.
We all do.
I think we're ready to roll it. Ferret, he's
You know
got
what?
to.
I didn't put music to it though. I didn't.
That's
I just
okay.
I'm gonna next time.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
you
okay.
want to speak to it? Is that what's going on? What's happening here with each slide?
I think I would just distract from the pictures if I spoke.
Okay. Oh, well, we'll just watch and read.
Okay.
Are you willing to share these recipes that you made with us?
Yes,
Would you be
and that's
willing
probably one of my
to-
most proud things. Like, it's hard to, my grandma always would say like, oh, that was great, Monica, but what's in it? And I'm like, I didn't write it down, I just made it. And she would be like, what's the matter with you? And so that's probably my biggest achievement, is not actually like doing well in the kitchen, but that I wrote it down. And so yes, I could share my recipes.
I'm beyond impressed.
That looks very tasty. I'm getting hungry.
We actually, the chamber has a community cookbook that we are going to be creating. So you're gonna have to send these in for the cookbook.
Okay, I'm happy to do that.
Now, are you naturally an avid cook, or is this kind of COVID inspired because you just ran out of other stuff to do while you were?
Good question. No, I would say I don't know naturally what God intended me to do, but it sort of was birthed out of just a discomfort of like certain social settings. And I found that if I have some food with me, or I can slip into the kitchen and take over, or push in and support in that area, I'm not stuck in a corner talking to somebody I don't want to, or something like that. So that's how I got into cooking.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Oh, the last slide. Man, is this like the slide, the exit out? I think we have. How much time do we have? We have a little time, so I'm not going to let this slide just rush me, because I have another question for you. But as you can see there, once again, 2020 ahead of the class teacher finalist. That is, once again, for those who aren't familiar with the yearly recognition in Renton, it is a big deal, and we're talking to a local Renton teaching celeb. Well, I now see, at least where, there was fried chicken, there was biscuits and gravy, there was this, my wife and I have termed it, it's kind of like the freshman 15, what I think this quarantine has caused is the COVID-19. I'm curious, all that cooking, have you experienced the COVID-19? Are you working out to work off the biscuits and gravy and that sort of thing?
That's also, I don't know. I should put more effort into knowing what I look like and feel weight-wise.
Monica,
no, I think everything in moderation.
Everything
in moderation. And yeah, of course, being in a swimsuit and at the beach or at the lake or whatever vacation you feel comfortable taking is a good motivation. And
it is.
So, walk the dog, do your YouTube workout. It all evens out.
The good news is, with the social distancing at the beach, at least nobody's close enough to see any kind of infection. So
totally.
One last question before you go. Any kind of messages you may have for the students and families, at home during the summer? I won't even put any other constraints on that. What would you say?
Please don't fight with each other. Don't fight. It's hard not to. I don't like fighting. But also to be flexible. I mean, kids are great teachers of that, right? Like, but yeah, I would just say for parents, like, so what? Like, they're on their phones a lot. So what? They sleep until 11. Like, there are worse things. And so even like, I know that I struggle with that. Just having high expectations and then never meeting them. But it's okay. So what? Like, it's a pandemic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And read. I guess the teacher should say read.
Oh, I like that. Oh, read, I guess. Yeah, read. Okay.
I think it's probably more important though to talk about. Like, if you watch a show or you read something or you think something, it's more important to practice your output, because that's how you get measured in school and in life, is what you can produce. So practice talking and explaining your thinking, and those things will keep you sharp.
Absolutely. Hey,
I love it.
I can't think of a better way to end the interview than on that note. Monica, thank you very much for joining us. Keep up the cooking. You know, you post those recipes on Facebook, they live forever. People are downloading that stuff left and right. So it may be a second career for you. Who knows?
Okay.
So thanks for joining us, Monica.
Bye, Monica. Thank you so much for being
Take
here.
care.
Oh,
All
and
right.
we are joined by our next guests, Rubelyn and Deondre James. How are the two of you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
We're doing great. Yeah. Well, you guys are here tonight representing A.C.C.E.S.S. Can you tell me a little bit about A.C.C.E.S.S and what the mission is behind A.C.C.E.S.S?
So, the overall mission of A.C.C.E.S.S is to disrupt bias. That's our number one goal. We looked at a platform that we see as sports, and we also looked at a platform, the tremendous bias in our hiring processes, and we thought to ourselves, how do we fix that? To be honest, as a minority, living in South King County, when I drive up and down the I-5 corridor, I personally, honestly, when we're having an honest conversation, I can see the white community, I can see the Asian community, I can see the African community, but as a Black man, the last community that I personally see that I have left is sports. So with that being said, we combine, the platform of sports with the element of, disrupting that bias in recruiting and hiring process. So that's the mission of A.C.C.E.S.S.
Being open to, piggybacking off of that, it's really giving the opportunity and giving a chance to be seen, to be heard, and being able to get into the workforce, as well as enjoy yourselves and show up as a whole, and be able to enjoy what you're doing, to be quite honest with you. How Dre and I have looked at this is that, hey, there's a problem that needs to be solved, and here's a solution that we can provide to everyone, pretty much. I think there's a lot of creative solutions that can be brought to the table, and this is just one of many.
You guys are famous for your 3-on-3 tournaments. How has A.C.C.E.S.S been able to change lives, not only through your mission statement, but through this tournament as well?
So as I described before, just to describe the tournament a little bit, we invited 20 teams to come out. Before they came out, we set the standard of, hey, before you get here, update your LinkedIn, bring a resume with you. When the 20 teams showed up, instead of a regular crowd being there, we made sure that we had a crowd of DocuSign, Microsoft, CITC, PACE, Teamsters, trades, unions, apprenticeship programs. And the value that was placed into the tournament was having those companies there, celebrating those people who were honestly there to just play basketball. But once they realized the opportunity that surrounded them, that was what created the spark.
Yeah. Till this day, I think people that have attended that event, we're reaching up to actually 1 year next month. It has changed their lives. I think for the better, being able to network and being not like in a suit specifically, or they're all dressed down, and being able to be who they are on the court and off the court, and being able to just be themselves and have that connection, and being able to network and talk to the recruiter or person that is directly with the company. I think that it was a big change for them. I think for especially the people that were part of the tournament, they were able to be comfortable and show up and have fun while also thinking about what's ahead and what's next in their lives.
One of the most important, stories that we have to share about that specific tournament was Alex James. He was one of the main people who helped run this, the actual basketball tournament. And he has another job that he does on a daily. And he was actually stopped a few months later and by some lady he didn't even know and was like, "You're that guy." And he looks at her and he was like, "No, you're that guy from the tournament." And she's like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have been applying and applying and applying, and I did not get a call back, but I went to that tournament and now I have a job."
Yeah.
Those are the stories that, mean the most to us when we're talking about mission and changing a process that we know that's an issue. This is what Jay-Z speaks of when he talks about actionable items. This is what we want to provide.
Yeah. I love how you guys have created this platform. It's wonderful. You guys are coming up on a year celebrating. So all of us are being impacted by the COVID pandemic. You guys have brilliantly pivoted another direction. Can you tell me what you guys are doing now in response to the crisis?
Yeah. I guess pivoting wise, we've been able to partner with the Daniel Artes podcast, and we have like influencers, but also retired athletes or current athletes talk about what is going on in their community and what's happening now, but also being able to share their knowledge and being able to talk about the sports and their life experiences and being able to provide some guidance. And I think most importantly, most likely is the opportunity. Being able to share opportunity is the big one. The last one, like I just saw right here, is we had the opportunity to talk to two definitely Seattle legends here, Terry Holloman from UW, as well as Marcus Trufant. They shared their stories and being able to share what's happening in their world and how they are sharing their resources and information, and encouragement is a big thing that was the big takeaway we had. I'll share it. I think I got to find it somewhere, but it's on our page somewhere. So there's that. Dre, is there something that you wanted to add on? Because I know we have a lot of people wanting to get on the show and get onto the podcast. And we're just trying to make it make sense right now, like everybody else.
All of us are.
That's the beauty of the platform, partnering with Daniel Artes, who's also Meta World Peace's brother. Sometimes Meta jumps on the show, and joins in on the conversation. But what we're actually doing is building a diverse network, because we are a sourcing company. So we have a diversity initiative to add to our mission statement by holding these podcasts. But in these podcasts, we're covering mental health, we're covering financial literacy, we're covering education, relationships. We're trying to touch every single aspect of the minority, so that we create a safe space for them to come to. But then when they come here, just like the A.C.C.E.S.S tournament, they can reach directly out to us and say, "Hey, I need a job. I need help. I need mentorship," because we've built a network full of them, especially, and we've kept the diverse initiative for that as well.
Yeah.
Well, you guys should be so proud of the community that you guys are building through A.C.C.E.S.S and the platform that you are continuing to provide to the Renton community and the surrounding area. If we have viewers tonight that want to listen to that podcast, where can they find it? Where can they find you guys?
So for our podcast itself, it's on the Daniel Artes podcast on Facebook. We are also on Spotify and iTunes. Where's the other one? I think there's another. I forget what other platform we are streaming on, but we are also on Facebook Live. Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, and we're also on Instagram. Yeah, so we're all over, and Twitter. So we have everything there. Just on Instagram, it's access to, and Twitter is also access to.
We'll be sure to share those links as well. Thank you guys again. I really appreciate you being here. James, is there any question or follow-up that you have hearing these stories?
Hey, it's all good stuff. Thanks for being here. Keep doing what you do. I mean, it's very important. Sounds like you really got it together, and you know, you're touching lives and making a difference, and that's what's important.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rubelyn. Thank you, Deondre. Have a wonderful night.
Appreciate it.
You too. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye. Awesome. Well, I think it's about that time that the chamber checks in.
Why don't we do that? I wonder who's going to check in for the chamber. Is there anybody within earshot?
I think I heard someone knock on the door.
Oh, there she is.
Hi.
Diane Dobson.
We're safely social distancing.
Understandable. Okay.
It's nice to see you, James. And Rubelyn and Deondre, they are two of my favorite people, and they participate with RANU, which is the Renton Area Nonprofit Unite, the nonprofit branch of the chamber, and are absolutely beloved by all for the things that they do. Their 3-on-3 basketball tournament last year was in conjunction with the neighborhood block party that Communities and Schools Renton had down at Liberty Park, and just super popular, well attended, and spoken of not just within our Renton community, but in the business community and on a legislative level as well. They're making change. They're incredibly powerful with what they're doing.
Fantastic.
So chamber check-in, we have just a quick thing. First of all, PPE, the other acronym. We have face masks, cloth masks, disposable masks, and hand sanitizer that is available for Renton businesses. Those are available for the employees and the owners. Unfortunately, we didn't receive enough that we can provide for customers or clients or patients. But I do point out the city of Renton has mask distribution as well, and that is for Renton residents. So between the two, with businesses and residents, you should be able to find something somewhere. But businesses, reach out to us at info@gorenton.com. We also have some great little cards to pick up. If you are a chamber member, stop in or get a hold of us and pick up some cards. They're I'm here cards. There's two. There's one that you can drop to chamber businesses when you visit that business to let them know that you stopped by and bought from them, received their services, and you did that because they were a chamber member. And the other card is for those businesses that you think are outstanding and would make a great part of the chamber team. So two different options that we can spread the word of what the chamber's doing, show our appreciation for businesses for being a chamber member, as well as being an outstanding business in the community that we would like to have as part of our team. The other item that to remind everybody, we have our July raffle, or excuse me, our July bingo. And I think, James, are you jumping in on the July bingo this year? Because I've heard there's a few challenges floating around saying, I'll get a bingo before you, or.
Oh, really? Oh, well, you know, I got in on the June. I don't think I won anything, but yeah, I have my July bingo card sitting right here in front of me, the same thing that they see on the screen. Currently working my strategy, my strategic approach to come out on top and get one of those great gift cards from one of the businesses there. So,
well, and last month we had a $100 gift card from the Melrose, from Urban Sprouts, from Whistle Stop, and then gift certificates for River Valley Cheese. So those are some serious prizes, and all you have to do is visit the business, save your receipts, and when you get a bingo, send it into the chamber.
Absolutely. I think it's a fantastic idea. Glad the chamber is doing it. It really does cause you to, you gamify anything, you create competition, people rise to the challenge, and what better way to actually have them do it in this environment than to go out and support businesses, maybe visit businesses that they had always planned to do, but they never got around to doing it, and also discover new places. So I think it's a fantastic idea, and I'm all for it. Great job.
Good. Well, I'd be excited to see how you do on your card completion. Last month, Amber, she's just a rock star. Amber Saxby from Rock Project Management. She had a blackout, hit every single business on the card. So kudos to her, and excited to see what everybody else submits this time as well.
Yeah, we will see. We will see.
Okay.
Great.
Well, that's all I've got from the chamber tonight. I appreciate you guys being here and doing this, and the levity and excitement that you bring to our organization.
Great. Well, that's all we need. Appreciate it, Diane.
All right. Thanks.
See you later. All right. So.
Well, James, I hope you're ready, because I too have my July bingo card here, and I've already made a few stops. So.
Well, I've planned a few stops. I haven't quite made the stops, but I'm being very, like I say, strategic about it, and how I can maybe get a couple of different bingos this time around. Blacking out the card, that might be a bit tough for me, but hey, you never know. You never know what can happen here. So
yeah, no, it might be time for you to get the window coverings you never thought you needed.
All my windows are covered, Ashley. What are you going to do? Just pull down a shade and put something else up. Maybe I should do that. I don't know. Let's go ahead. I think our next guest is ready to make his appearance. We have Rashad Powell. I believe he's waiting in the wings. He is the head basketball coach at Renton High School, and the dean of students as well. Is Rashad there somewhere? He's not in the waiting room. I thought he was in the waiting room. Okay, I thought he was lurking in the shadows. Okay. Well, once again, live productions. Let's just kind of figure out what we do at this time.
No worries. Well, we can always circle back to Rashad once he gets back into the waiting room. I do have a message from him here. I believe at one point he was with us, but he might have, yeah. So we could just maybe see Tawny now and circle back to Rashad. What do you think?
Okay, if Tawny's ready, we can do that.
Awesome.
There we go.
Hi, Tawny.
It's done.
No worries. Well, we can always circle back to Rashad once he. Tawny, you're gonna want to pause your streaming there with us. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to have you with us. A little bit earlier than expected, but we're always happy to see your face. So right now, Tawny, you guys just opened Wildwood Creative back up, right?
Yeah, so when we went to phase 1.5, I was able to reopen.
Awesome. And what are you most excited about right now, even with all of the social distancing? What has got you excited about getting back into Wildwood?
It's just been really nice seeing, I've only been open 8 months, but I already have a pretty good group of regular customers. And so it's been really nice to kind of see some familiar faces come in. And then I still, every day or so have someone come in that didn't even know I was there and is discovering me for the first time. So that's really exciting to experience again.
That's awesome. No, I'm so happy to see life back in your storefront. It was getting lonely going by. So what are ways that people can come out and support your business? You're still new to the block, but people are ready and excited to come out and support. How can they support?
Yeah, so I'm open for shopping right now, 11 to 5, Friday through Tuesday. So I'm closed Wednesday, Thursday. Everything in my shop's available online, and I am offering pickup. So if you're not wanting to come into the store, we can still coordinate a pickup. I've got some online classes coming up. So we're trying the Zoom thing. So I've got a couple of those coming up, which have been really fun because a lot of people have been able to join family members that are in other states, and they're both able to join the class. So that's been really fun for everyone to kind of get together with those classes.
That's awesome. What kind of classes do you have upcoming?
So I have an embroidery class coming up where we're embroidering a heart cacti. And then I'm doing a class where we're sewing, it's called the Morning Glory top. So it's just kind of like a simple top that we're going to be sewing. So those are the two that I have coming up. And then I have a lot more in my head that I just have to work on getting listed on the website.
No, that's awesome. If people would like to sign up for those classes, how can they do that?
So everything's through my website, which is wildwoodcreative.com, and Wildwood is spelled W-Y-L-D.
Yes. What can you tell us about the raffle that you have been doing?
Yeah, so I started a raffle. It's been going about a week now. On Instagram, I saw a lot of other people doing auctions where they were getting people to donate items and then we're auctioning them off and donating the money, which I thought was amazing. But, you know, me personally, I can't really spend like $100 or $200 on an auction item. So I wanted to come up with a way that people could donate money and still have an opportunity to win a prize. So I connected with a lot of local makers and got about 12 prizes donated. And then the way it works is you just buy, you donate money to an organization of your choice, and every $5 donated gets you one raffle entry. So basically, you know, you can still kind of have skin in the game for $5 instead of having to donate, you know, $100 or $200. And there's some really great prizes that we were able to round up. So it's been really good so far. We've raised over $2,000 so far.
Wow, that's awesome. No, I love that idea, because then everyone's able to give to the charities that they support already, or causes that they're passionate about, and still have awesome prizes available. I think I actually am wearing one of the Renton Made shirts tonight. I didn't win this in the raffle, but I saw it as one of the prizes that you have.
Yeah, that's been one of the popular items for sure, is the Renton shirt.
Well, I can attest that it's extremely comfortable. I may or may not have slept in this before also. So, oh, well, awesome. And that's all through your Instagram as well?
Yeah, so the Instagram page is Raffle for Racial Justice, and all the prizes are listed there. So you just donate to an organization on your own, and then send me a picture of the receipt, and I'll put you down for whatever prizes you want to enter to. And if you don't have Instagram, you can go to Instagram on a computer to look at the prizes, and then you can just email me your receipts and I can get you entered that way.
Awesome. We will get your email up as well for that. Wow, some of these prizes, they're so great.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Tawny, I really appreciate all that you're doing for the community, and I'm just so happy that Wildwood Creative stores are back open again, and I will be stopping by very soon to see you.
Yeah, awesome. I look forward to it.
Tawny, if I can ask a quick question, I'm curious, what's your favorite class to teach? What's your favorite creative activity? Top two.
So I'm a quilter, and I teach my first quilt class, which is a 5-week course, and we make an entire quilt from start to finish. And that is by far my favorite class to teach, just because I really love quilting. And typically everyone who's taken the class, as soon as they're done, they're already on to making their next quilt. So it's just really fun to kind of introduce that to people.
Nice. Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah, that sounds like so much fun. Some of the fabric that you have in Wildwood is it makes me want to quilt. So
that's the idea.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us, Tawny.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Take care.
So are you going to take up quilting, James?
You know, I'll have to think about it. I'll have to, you know, check with the family, see if we can go and create a little who can make the best quilt competition between my wife and stepdaughters. You know, I probably can show them up, but that remains to be seen. We'll see. So, and I have to apologize. I have like sun coming in through my window is causing a little bit of action here, but pay no attention to that. Do we know if we have Rashad waiting in the wings yet? Or we?
We have not heard back from Rashad.
Not heard back from Rashad. Oh, well, you know, things happen. I'm sure he is delayed in some sort of you know, important fashion. So, you know, hey, we have to work with it. You know, I will say a couple of things. He may show up, but I think it's important to note, as I mentioned, and he's the head basketball coach at Renton High School and also the dean of students. I wanted to actually talk to him to find out, well, in a high school, what is the job of the dean of students versus the principal? I thought he was going to have some good stuff to tell me. In case any of you out there are wondering, or maybe you know, maybe you can let me know. I know dean of students in college, but high school, who knows? But the one thing that people may not know is that the basketball team was recognized as, let me make sure I get this right. You know, they made the McDonald's All-American recognition, or they earned recognition earlier this year, I believe in January. Now the tournament or oh, boom, okay. Well, now I cannot butcher this thing. Now here's Rashad. Rashad, I was just talking you up here.
Appreciate that. Sorry about that. I had a little technical difficulty.
No worries. No worries. It's just the times we live in, but glad to, better late than never. So I was just mentioning, welcome to the show first off.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You know, telling everybody, head basketball coach at Renton High School, but also the dean of students. And before we get into anything, tell us, in your role as the dean of students, you know, are you telling the principal what to do, you know, with the students, or what's going on? Tell me about that a little bit.
It's definitely an interesting role. I think my tenure and time at Renton has allowed me a little bit more flexibility in terms of my leadership that I've been able to employ with the student body, which has been great. But I, you know, definitely still in regular communication on everything with our principal and assistant principals. But I do have a lot of leeway and freedom to kind of handle and do things on my own accord as well. So it's a good and it's a very unique role and opportunity that I have with the students and families that I reach to connect. You know, a lot of it is discipline based, but I spend that often to make an impact academically, personally, just to kind of make a contact and touch with those students and families. So our interactions are not just about discipline, and not, you know, when they get a pass from me or when they see me, it's not, oh no, I got to go to Mr. Powell's office, because I don't want that. That's the opposite of what we're trying to do. So I try to have a firm but fair approach, and be, you know, work with all of our students to make their school experience enjoyable. Even, you know, when we do have to implement some discipline, it's not just about that.
That's fantastic. Okay, now we are in the know.
Yes.
The one thing, when you tuned in, I was actually giving kind of the boys team a shout out. They were recognized earlier this year, McDonald's All-American recognition. You know, the COVID thing came crashing in on us. I think the tournament or something was down in Houston in April. I'm assuming they weren't able. Did that go on? Or tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, they were nominated. They were nominated as nominees, so they weren't actually selected for the actual McDonald's All-American game. But still a great honorable, you know, still a great accomplishment nonetheless.
Absolutely.
The game, due to the COVID and closures, the actual McDonald's All-American game was canceled this year, unfortunately, as were a lot of different things. But you know, that's just kind of the nature of the times that we're in right now, and it's unfortunate because a lot of those seniors they look forward to that. That's an annual tradition and a rite of passage in a lot of times, and so, you know, a lot of them, you know, they've been working toward that their whole life and whole career, and, you know, like graduation, and they weren't able to, you know, take part in that. So it was unfortunate, but, you know, it was one of those things that was just kind of is what it is. So, they didn't get to have it this year.
Yeah, lesson. Hey, you know, life isn't fair, but it's really about the journey and that sort of thing. So why don't you tell us about senior recognition? You've been doing some stuff, senior recognition, and maybe what we can do to participate in that sort of thing.
Say that one more time.
I said, why don't you tell me about you? It sounds like you've been doing some things with senior recognition, and maybe what we can still do to participate in that sort of thing.
So at this point it's a little late, but what we're trying to make the situation for graduation as memorable and important as possible for all those students, because it's really heartbreaking talking to those families and those students who had looked so forward to graduation, and having the opportunity to see their child walk across that stage and be in the showwear and yell their name and take pictures afterwards. So with all the social distancing regulations, it was very, very tough for us to do anything in a semblance of that. So we tried to do what was best we could. We delivered signs to all the seniors that they could, like yard signs that they could post in their yards and things like that. And we did a virtual graduation for them that was for them to commemorate it. So, and that's, kind of par for the course where a lot of the places around the country were doing. So it was tough, because like I said, you get relationships with those kids and you want to be a part of those things. And we weren't able to do that, but we did as best as we could with the circumstances, with the hand we were dealt to make whatever we could possible for them.
Right. Yeah, I see right now they're putting up some of the pictures there of you. Looks like you're almost photobombing the picture there, but you got to make it in, get some recognition. So that's nice. It's good. Seniors definitely got a raw deal this year, but it's really about making the best of it and making sure everybody realizes the effort and everything they did to get to this point. So kudos for doing that.
Sure. Thank you.
Let me ask you this: as far as tell us about high school sports from your vantage point. I know nothing's for certain right now. As we move into the school year, what's that looking like? Even at this point, I know it's premature, maybe early, but what are your thoughts on that?
Definitely would love to see it happen, but it's tough. Safety precautions and things going on. It's going to be tough. The WIA just sent out a notifications delaying the start of fall sports, which was previously scheduled to start on time. So that looks like, and that's going to start. That allows them to start in early September as opposed to mid-August now. So I remain hopeful again. So kind of going back to last year's sports, think about the spring sports athletes and student athletes that didn't get an opportunity to have their seasons. Track, softball, baseball, I believe there was a tennis, soccer. So those people, I apologize if I missed any spring sports, but those people didn't get to have a season at all. And that was their senior season. So that was tough. And then looking at that possibility again, coming into this year with the fall and with things being as uncertain as they are, I know, WIA and all the governing bodies they're going to do what they can within their powers to make that happen. But ultimately it's going to be determined by, where we are at the climate in terms of things with COVID and making sure that everyone's safe. And that's going to be the primary thing. I know there's been some things kind of thrown around talking about possibly games with no spectators, as odd as that may be. Like that might be what it would end up being, and with games then being streamed, which it's not ideal, and I'm sure it's going to make some people feel some kinds of ways. But if that's what it means to have the things be able for our student athletes, I think everybody would be okay with that to an extent. So I think that's really where we are now. Obviously, just kind of a waiting game.
Well, I think we're all waiting to see what happens on that front. And when it comes to sports, really, I think it's all going to look very similar. So it's the new normal. So good luck with exactly however it turns out. And the students are always going to still give their best. And
right,
it's all about everything that really comes from playing in team sports or individual sports. And so we can't forget the purpose really of what it does
for
the students. So hey, Rashad, we appreciate you checking in with us. And technical difficulties aside, hey, it all worked out. And so we're gonna let you we'll let you get on with your evening. But thanks a lot for the update. And Ashley, do you have anything else you want to throw in before we let Rashad?
No, I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys are doing this. Keeps our community connected. you know, and more power to everyone that's here doing these things. I look forward to getting back to working with our students and even with our youth program with Renton Select Basketball. We had to put that on hold as well because of that. And through our Renton Select program, we serve about 100, 150 younger student athletes every year from grades first, second grade, all the way up through high school. And so, you know, that's been impacted too. And so just looking forward to getting back to all that, but, you know, obviously safety first, and just appreciate everything that you guys are doing for the community. I'm a lifelong Renton resident and plan on being so for forever. And so I'm always grateful to have great things going on in our community and people uplifting our community and doing positive in our community. So anytime that I can be of service, help, a part of any of that, please don't ever hesitate to include me or reach out about that.
All right.
We appreciate that, Rashad, and we appreciate you and all that you do for the youth in this community. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
awesome. Thank you guys.
All right. Take care, my man.
All right. You guys have a good day. Bye-bye.
You as well. Enjoy the outdoors. I don't know where he was, but I want to be there.
yeah. He was someplace. He was where we should be.
Right.
Anyway, Ashley, you want to take us out with telling everybody what's going to happen next week when they tune into Renton Live?
Sure. So next week we have another packed episode of Renton Live. We are going to be hanging out with Rock Project Management, and we're going to learn how to make magic happen. And I'm going to just leave it at that. So you guys are going to have to tune in and find out what that means. We are also going to learn about ways that giving works with Dr. Angela Beard, who is the director of the Stanford Institute of Philanthropy from City University in Seattle. And we're also going to be checking in again with our friends over at the Hyatt. We were graced with the presence of Chef Ryan last week, who told us about their 4th of July celebration. And next week, we're going to learn a bit more about the facilities they have there. And as a reminder to everyone, we still have a photo contest going on right now with Hudson Portraits. So get out there, take photos of your vehicles. I don't know if you've participated in the last photo contest, James, but you still have a week to submit your photos to Bruce of your car. The winner will be announced next week's episode.
They don't want any pictures of dirty vehicles. I need to wash my car first. So I'll have to work on that one.
You have a whole week.
This is true. This is true. And, you know, and also, I don't think we mentioned earlier, just kind of a shout out, you know, as far as any of the creatives out there that are into art or dance or singing or anything you want to share with the Renton community and share with Renton Live, send us your stuff, send us your things. You may get discovered. It may be the beginning of a beautiful life. You never know. Or it may be 15 minutes of fame. It doesn't matter. So this is your chance. We appreciate everyone tuning in, just keeping the community a community. And Ashley, I'll let you have the last word and then we'll be out.
No, I honestly, I loved that. Keeping the community a community. I think that's it, James.
Cool. All righty.
Awesome. Thank you again for being here, James. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Always.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's all